Throughout history, we have seen how nuclear energy has become more relevant, being necessary for many countries today. As they are extremely dangerous in the event of an accident, many have opposed this and rejected the idea of any construction related to nuclear energy, fearing that in the worst case a great catastrophe would occur. This has made people hold protests and meetings in order to stop this. However, these actions escalate to great violence and chaos. That is why today I will talk to you about the lemoiz nuclear power plant, and how its construction ended in tragedy. Historically, Spain has been a limited country to develop its strategic resources. They have always depended on foreign trade to get electricity. This continued for many years, and after the Second World War they experienced high economic growth. Thanks to this they began an extensive plan to build a large number of nuclear power plants. The most striking was the lemoiz nuclear power plant. It was located in Vizcaya, 30 kilometers from Bilbao. It consisted of 2 units of 1,000 megawatts. The plan was to build a nuclear power plant in the region of Mungia, with the purpose of supplying the great demand of the Basque country, who had little electricity availability. From the beginning they had problems, since the proposed land was an agricultural area and the local authorities prevented them from building. However, as it is such an ambitious project, the Spanish Energy Directorate granted them a permit. With a budget of 32,000 euros the works began. Despite having permission from the Spanish Directorate, in reality they did not have any valid proof would argue what they could build. As a result of this and the risks involved, hundreds of inhabitants of the Basque country were against the work, forming a powerful opposition movement some time later. Unlike the town halls, the ministry supported the plant, without taking into account the opinion of the residents. The disgust was such that they organized and started marches against, alleging that the terrain was not appropriate and if they continued they would suffer an accident. The increasingly angry citizens denounced hundreds of times against the building and the company in charge, while others established an anti-nuclear association and collected 150,000 signatures to show how outraged they were. However, this was of little use because the construction continued. For him on August 29, 1974, the first march began with 50,000 people. By demonstrating their non-conformity, they influenced other regions to rebel. Quickly the discontent increased and in a matter of a year, they stopped the other plans to erect nuclear power plants. By this time, the lemoiz works were advanced and would soon operate. However, due to the fact that the discontent was prolonged, the terrorist group known as ETA joined due to the demonstrations and being extremely violent and aggressive. 3 explosives exploded in the dining rooms of the plant. Then on July 14, 1977 150,000 people demonstrated. Sometime later the terrorist group detonated a bomb located in a construction shed. How as a consequence, ETA tried to enter and they confronted the civil guard, ending with 1 wounded. The following days were tense. On January 1, 1978, the company in charge defended itself without success. Then the protesters in ire threw Molotov cocktails at the company in charge. Unfortunately the situation got out of control and an explosive exploded inside the nuclear headquarters, dying in the explosion 2 workers. At this point nobody wanted to work there. The company in charge had huge losses, and to make matters worse, the terrorists constantly attacked. As a result, on January 29, 1981, ETA kidnapped the chief engineer Jose Maria Ryran. The kidnappers gave 1 week to suspend the works. Unfortunately the Spanish government ignored this, and the criminal shot in the head to the boss and died. After this, no one wanted to work there. They were unable to hire more architects or workers, and by 1984, they abandoned the works. Thanks to this tragic end, the cost of the dismantling was 6 billion euros, for not taking into account the opinion of the people and allowing the death of innocent people.